dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already, everything is on the table again. Of course, we are going to use the smaller blocks. I have here my container with everything inside. You see already the scissors, markers, brushes, my pot, some twine, and of course the wood glue. We have here the old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue. And I have here my paint, and you see a little bit already on the color. What we're going to make, we are going to make a decor piece, a Grinch on a stand, and I made a Grinch also on my other channel, on the All About Christmas channel. So if you want to have a Grinch which can stand on his own, as more like a figurine person, then come over to my All About Christmas channel. You will find the links down below in our description box. Of course, now I'm going to make one on the stand. This is a very easy one, so I hope you enjoy this one also. So the first step, what we're going to do is we're going to make his bottom of his stand. And now I like always under my stand that I can do a little bit, maybe some Christmas balls, some greenery. I always like it when it looks a little bit more, not real planted, but a little organizing, that you can do something under here. So I'm going to go for 3 rows of 5. So we just go easy. We just glue the longest line of the block on the side, and we do 4 pieces, and number 5 is here to close you up, and again number 3 and number 4, and the last already of 5, and this is number 3 and number 4, and number 5. We're going to squeeze from within and make sure that we have a straight line. We do here the same, squeeze from within and also over here. And of course, for everyone who wants to see more Grinch inspiration, go to Pinterest, go to Google. You can find Grinch from so many beautiful creators, so go check them out. They are all amazing, so give them some love also, because everyone makes it their own way. So go check it out. Of course, I always try to make my own twist on it, and sometimes it's a little bit crazy and chaos, but at the end I always hope that they're standing something in that we like. So again, we give this a couple of minutes drying. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to place it sideways, and we go to place 2 of them on the side. And of course, don't worry, it still can fall down, but it doesn't matter. You just glue it together again and you are already fit to go again. That's the greatest about wood glue. It's very forgiving. Now we're going to give some pressure on the sides to fill in the open gaps we have. And again, over here, make one nice plank out of it. And of course, you see here, make sure that you have it as straight as you can, because we need to have a border around there. So we're going to give this a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to make the border around our bottom. And of course we need 10 times 2 blocks. So 10 sets of 2. We do on the longer side, and we're going to squeeze it. And over here, make them together. And very easy. And I'm going to do this step because this is always a DIY step by step. For everyone who wants to see it a little bit faster, just skip forward, or else maybe this is not your channel. But of course, I still hope you enjoy it, even when it takes a little bit longer of your time. So again, and we're going to squeeze them, make sure you have a nice straight line again, and over here, and you go by all of the blocks, because you want to be sure that everything is sticking nicely before we're going to make the border. And over here, and the last one, and we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to wipe away the glue. So now we have our 10 pieces of 2. We're going to take 3 blocks, and we place them in the longest line like this. We're going to do some glue on this side and on this side, and then we're going to place them together. So now we already have one piece. Make sure that you have them nicely stick together because it has to be a border, and then you don't want that it's sticking out. We have again 3, we do 1, we do number 2, and we do number 3, and again squeeze it and make sure that you fill with your fingers for the straight line. And I still here have a little bit of my doubt because it's not straight again. And you see already this one is totally not straight, so I need to work with it. And now we do only 2 pieces together, so like this. And now the last 2 pieces, and this is 1, and we're going to glue them together this way, very simple. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying. So if everything is correctly for your bottom, kind of a little bit like a planter, you have now of course this plank from 3 of 5, and you have 2 pieces of 6 and 2 of 4. What we're going to do is very easy. We're just going to make a small line under here, and like this, and we place this against here. We do here the same. We make a small line on the underside with glue, and we're going to place this one over here and just give it a little bit of pressure, and only on the underside because everything is not totally dry yet. Over here we are going to do some glue on this side and on the underside and over here, so very easy. And we place this one against here. We do here the same, kind of a U you're going to make over here and over here, and then you place it on the side, and also make sure that you give it a little bit of pressure, not too much because it's still not totally dry. And we're going to let it rest for at least a half hour. So in the meantime, while our bottom is drying, we have on the table the body of at least the face and the top of the Grinch. This is 6 rows of 8 blocks, so 6 rows of 8. So we're going to do very easy. Also on the smallest line of the block, we are going to row them very easy together like this. And this will be, yeah, don't do his whole body. I only do, I think, a little of his neck and face, and of course his head. But you can change it up, you can make it longer, then you can do his full body. If you are a great painter and drawer, it's totally fine. But I did that one Grinch on my other channel, so this one is a totally different one. So let me know in the comments if you're going to make it, or maybe you already made one. Let me know, because I would love to see how yours is turned out, because I love the Grinch, but here in the Netherlands, like I also told on my other channel, is not a lot of decorations of the Grinch. It's coming, but not too much. But of course you have Temu and AliExpress, and there you can buy, of course, a couple of decor pieces, but it's not as big as in some stores I see on YouTube. But of course, everyone can decorate their home. Some people don't like the Grinch. It's also fine too. So we will see how if people like this Grinch or not. I always see it, can easily see it on my videos and the views I'm going to get, if people like it or not. So I'm going to squeeze it from within to the outside. You see already this is a really small one in between, and I'm going to pick it out because that's really 2 small blocks. And that's why I always say, look at the blocks. Maybe you can use it later, but there are so many different sizes sometimes in a package of blocks. But we're going to work with it. Everyone has the same problem. I'm going to squeeze it also over here, and this one from the inside to the outside. And I'm going to easy place it out, make a new block, and I'm just going to do some glue on both of the sides, and I'm going to place it in and we're going to row it together, and now he is at least in a straight line. So, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now we gave our 6 pieces of 8 a couple of minutes drying, and now we're going to turn them this way because we're going to make one piece out of it, and we're going to place 5 of them on the side and this way, and we're going to very easy, and that's why we don't wait much longer than only a couple of minutes, because later we can still fill in the open gaps, and if we wait too long then we are not able, because then it's drying in a little too much. And now it's easy to work away the open gaps, and that's always the best. We're going to go for this one, we go for this, and we place this one over here and this one, and now we're going to easy from the outside, we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to nicely fill in the open gaps. And be sure that you also feel on the side that you have a nice straight line, because that's what you want. Over here, and this one needs to go a little here. Wipe away the glue so you can see it a little bit better. This way, and feel with your fingers if you have everything nicely. And again, give it some pressure from the side. Now we're going to let it rest for a half hour. So in the meantime, while the plank is drying, we need 4 rows of 2. 4 rows of 2. We're just going to do the sides again, and we're going to glue them together this way, and also this one and the last, and we're going to squeeze it, squeeze, and over here, and now we're going to let it rest at least a couple of minutes. So now we're going to turn all 4 of them in the length like this. We're going to do some glue on the tops, we do some glue over here, and we place them together, and this one, and now we're going to fill it up with number 4. Give it some pressure from the sides, and feel also with your fingers over here, because you want to have a nice straight line. And we're going to let this rest also at least 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to paint everything. So we're going to start with painting. I'm going to paint my bottom, my little basket crate, how you call it. I'm going to do this one in the white color, and this is the white color which is also not totally covering. So I am just going to give it one layer, because I like when the wood is still coming through. So I'm going to always do some paint in the middle, and then I'm going to can paint everything around. So I'm going to take my time for this piece, and of course then we're going to do the Grinch itself, and this will be in 2 parts. I'm also going to paint this one in the white color. This is the 4 times 2 blocks, you see already, which we will use for his head. So also again, I'm going to do a little bit of glue over here, a little bit of glue. How do I some white paint, and I'm going to paint this also in the white color, and also when the wood is still coming through a little. So now I have my bigger piece, which will be in the green and the red. Of course, I'm going to do it a little bit sideways, because the line, of course, from his head will be over here. So I'm going to measure out a little bit where I think I want to have it. I think maybe over here. So I'm going to make just a line where I think it looks nice. Of course, you don't have to do it. You can do it lower, you can do it a little bit higher. So this is for me a little bit like a line. I have to do this one in the red and this one in the green, and later we get this little plank over here. So over here, and of course you don't have to keep it this way, you can go over it a little bit. So I'm going to go with my green, and I'm going to fill in the green here under. So very easy. I'm going to take my time for it, and like this. As you see, it's very easy just to paint it this way. So then we go down. So I will make this green and the rest will be red. So you see, I did the green this way, and of course I did the back side also with green. And now I'm going to take the bright red and I'm going to do this in the bright red color. So I only do the top and the sides and the top over here in the red color. So, and you see already the wood is still coming through a little, and I am really liking that. But of course, if you want to have a covered color, it's also fine too. So I have my piece painted in the green and the red, and I'm going to do one of my blocks. So a very simple block we're going to do also in the red color. You see in a moment what I'm going to do with it, because I think his head needs a little bit of extra. So I'm going to give this one a red color, and then you will see in a moment how I do the rest. So again, I'm just painted totally red. So now we're going to start to build our Grinch up. We have here our middle piece. What we're going to do, we're going to get some wood glue, and we're going to get our middle piece, which is white, at least mine is white, and I'm going to glue it on the line, but I'm going to glue it as high as I can before you get the overlay. So I'm going to do here some glue this way, and I'm going to place this one over here, but I'm going to make sure this way, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to give it at least 10 minutes drying. So this is drying right now. Now I have here a piece of faux fur, which is green. At least I painted it green. What did I do? Because I also had one used in my other Grinch, or with my other Grinch on the other channel. I just have a very simple piece of faux fur like this. And I'm just did get my greenery of my green color I also use for this one, and I'm just did go over it with my paintbrush and just painted it, and make it in your hands, and just make sure that everything has a little bit of the green color. So it's very easy to make your own green color, because at least I can't find it here in the Netherlands, this kind of color, which is the same like the Grinch itself. So I make my own. So you have to do what you have to do, because when it's not available, it isn't. So I'm going to glue this later on top of here. So, but I'm going to use this as a kind of a mark where I have want to. Ooh, this is also DIYing. What is going wrong is this. So I have to get my pencil. Yes, I have my pencil again. I am I'm back again. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get my little light gray color pencil, because I'm not a great drawer. I'm just going to set up the eyes, the nose and the mouth. So I am happy already before I'm going to make my lines on top of here. I recommend also, if you are not just like me and you're also not a great person who can make faces, just get a light gray pencil and just make your marks already in front before you're going to make your lines. So this is how I did my face, and of course this is just a little example. I do my best, I do my best. Of course I'm going to fill it in with some black marker, and I'm going to do the eyes, of course yellow with a little piece of white dots, but you see it in a moment. First I'm going to do the lines in the black color, and I just use a simple marker. Of course you have to be careful that you don't make it too big. So again, I'm going to go over here and just make a nice line. I'm going to go, and that's why it's the greatest if you already have your piece. You can easily go over it and make your own cute little face. I know it's for some people. Of course, painting is a lot better. I know painting looks better. I paint the most what I can, but what I can do, I just always do it with a little bit of a marker, make it myself easy before I mess everything up. So I'm going to do now the nose. And again, very easy, just make a round. And I'm going to fill it in. And like this. So, because I wanted to show you also that you don't think maybe she is asking someone for it. I would love to, but in my family, there's not everyone can make easy faces, so I have to do it myself. So I'm going to do the rest a little slow because I want to be sure that I don't mess it up. So this is how it's looking like right now. Now I'm going to do the inside of the eyes. I'm going to do with the yellow color. So this is how it's looking like so far with the eyes, and now later I'm going to give with the back side of my brush. I'm going to do a little dot in the black paint, and I'm just going to make a little dot in between here so that you get really eyes. What I'm going to do, of course, before I'm going to glue this little piece of fur on top of here, I'm going to look for, I have with the other Grinch, I made a little sign and I used this round. But of course I made this round on my computer, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to look for if it is not too big for over here. So I'm going to look for if I can work it away over here. If I like it or not, we will see. So I had to take off 2 of the rings because he was much too big, and I am really liking it on over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Mod Podge, and I'm going to Mod Podge this on the corner on top, and you can do any thing on top of here. You can do a print, you can do maybe something with has to do with Christmas, so you don't have to do what I do. I make this kind of little prints also for your tier tray. So if you're not a member, of course, I hope you will click the membership button on top. I have it on both of my channels, and there you find different print for your tier tray, or maybe just in your home. So I'm going to place this on top of here. I have to turn it, and of course I don't want to get the shiny on top of here, so I'm going to make sure that we have it over here like this, and I'm going to go around. So I'm really happy how this one is looking like. So now I'm going to make my black dots in the middle of the eyes. So I just do, in my schoolboard paint, I just do a little dab of the black color, and I'm going to place it over here. And I do another one. And I place this one over here. So, and then we're going to let this dry. So now I'm going to take my hot glue, and I'm going to make one line over here, and I'm going to place my piece in the middle, of course, over here. I'm going to give it some pressure over here. Then I'm going to do some lines over here, some lines over here, place it down. And we're going to do here the same. And again, we can wait until it is dry, and then we're going to turn it over, and then we're going to glue it on the back side. So you see, this is the red block, and I took out a little piece of the fur, and I did a little ring over it because I wanted the red color to come back a little. This kind of an embellishment, if you call it, I think you call it this way. So we're going to do some glue on this side, and we're going to easy glue it on top of here. So kind of like an, I don't know how you call it, it's not a bow, but a little bit extra, so it gives a nice look, and the red is coming back. So then the last step, we need to, of course in the Netherlands it is stop, but the last step will be, we are going to place this one inside of here. So we're going to get our wood glue and we're going to glue the underside of the Grinch, and then we're going to place it in our little box. I have to look which one I want to have on the front side. So this one, and now I'm going to turn it over, and you see already I make a little room from the fur and just place some wood glue over here, over here. Make sure that you have enough because it has to stand on his own. We place it here and we place this one exactly in the middle over here, and we're going to give it some pressure, and I keep it in place for a little moment. You see in a moment the quick impression.